going on, guys? John here, another video. This video I'm going to do a 4-year review of my Shimano Twin Power C3000XG, the FD model. So I know that the FE is coming out sometime in the spring, so it's not officially released yet. So now's a good time to do a review. But I mean, here it is, right? Everybody does 1-year reviews. I've had this reel since I believe it's the end of August 2020. So when I got this reel, the price range for this reel was anywhere between, I think it was 480 to 520, depending on what retailers, but I did pay 480 for this. Now they go for $645, which is a crazy jump if you really think that it's gone up that much over 4 years. And this is for Canadian retailers. I'm in Canada, not to mix it up. I get a lot of people commenting, oh, well, you overpaid, and completely miss the fact that I actually do say that I'm in Canada and our dollar is different than US. I can only imagine how much the FE will be. Like, to be honest, I think that it'll be in the 700 range, right? Which to me is crazy, but then again, it is on the Core Solid line of reels. It is right under the Stella, so as I like to call it, the baby Stella. Now, I bought it originally because I wanted to actually use it for steelhead. More than enough power for steelhead, even salmon. The 4000 size would be fantastic for salmon. Then I thought, let me use this for wacky rigging, and I never looked back. This became my official wacky rig reel, and I love it. I mean, the drag is great. The 3000 holds literally the perfect amount of line. I have 10-pound Berkeley X5 on here with a 8-pound Red Label leader from Seagar, and it's got all the power in the world. After 4 years, this reel hasn't skipped a beat. As long as you take care of your gear, you do proper maintenance. I mean, for the amount of time that I go fishing, you know, I get out maybe once every 7 days to once every 10 days, life and kids, work. Sometimes it can be hard to find time, but for the amount of time that I go fishing, like, once a year, once every 2 years, to open it up, give it a quick little cleanup and lube. I mean, that's really all you need. I also like to open up the drag, and I clean it, and then I put Shimano drag grease in it. So that also helps with keeping the drag in its optimal condition. That way it's always free and smooth, hassle-free. So a rundown of the basic features: 9+1 ball bearings, which is 10. It weighs 7.6 ounces. It's not the lightest reel, but it's definitely not the heaviest. It is all metal. It does have a 6.4 to 1 gear ratio, and as you can see, the handle just likes to just randomly turn when it feels like it. And it holds 170 yards of 8-pound mono or fluorocarbon, whichever you like to use. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit more with braid. Now, for 3000 size, 20 pounds of drag is more than enough. I mean, I don't even use that much when I'm catching monster salmon. But the power is there if you need it. But it is extremely smooth. So it is smooth with the power to back it up. So it's got Hagane gears for the internals. It's got Hagane body for the body. Core Solid, all metal. As you can see, even the rotor is solid, right? Hence the name Core Solid. It's got Micro Module 2, X-Ship, Silent Dry, X-Protect, and G3 body. If you hear that, you know, I apologize. That's my youngest getting fed right now. It's got the ARC and long stroke spool. The ARC is pretty much the design of the spool, like this, kind of like an arc, and then it's got the long stroke spool. It's also got the rigid support drag, the cross carbon drag, so it is carbon fiber, and it's got SARB bearings, the anti-rust bearings, as well as the one-piece bail. So, you know, that's just the sound of my leader hitting the rotor. But other than that, you know, 4 years of use, I don't beat on my gear. I actually take good care of my gear. I actually use the this reel glove reel cover on almost all of my reels. Actually, all of my reels have that, except for my higher end, which gets Shimano reel covers. So this reel has been through all sorts of different kind of weather. I've caught bass, pike with this reel. I'm pretty sure it'll stand up to salmon and steelhead as well. I would love to have a 4000 for salmon. Who knows, I might even get it. Or I might even buy a 3000 of the FE model. Whichever catches my eye first, I'll probably get it. But I was so pleased with the performance of this reel over 4 years, I actually went to go and buy the Shimano Twin Power 2500 SHG, which is the shallow spool version for Ned rigs. So with the torque and power of this reel, why I found it fitting for wacky rig is because the 6.4 gear ratio and the power of the reel could get fish out of some nasty situations. I got the power when I need it, as well as a touch of finesse when I need it. I mean, the question is, would I buy another one? Has already been answered with the 2500 SHG. I did buy another, so that's self-explanatory how much I actually like this reel. This is, I would say, probably my second favorite reel, maybe even first, as I do have the Vanquish and Stella, but I mean, all three are great reels in their own right. I mean, in terms of this and the Stella, as they are core solid reels, if you want to start getting into high end, I would recommend the Twin Power. This will give you the closest taste to a Shimano Stella as it'll get without actually buying the Stella. The Stella is about another $400 more, but that's for another reel. The 3000 reel applications, I mean, you could use it for drop shotting, you could use it for anything you want. You could use it for steelhead, even for salmon. If you're close quarters for salmon, you know, and you don't really need the higher line capacity of the 4000, you can easily catch salmon with the 3000. It's got more than enough power and drag capabilities to handle 30+ pound salmon, and I'll be the first one to vouch for that. So since I use it for wacky rigging, the rod that I use it on is this right here, Loomis NRX 802S JWR. It's a 6'8". I find this to be one of the perfect wacky rods, and this is the balance point. Even at 7.6 ounces, right? It's an extremely balanced combo. You really don't feel the weight of the reel, especially, you know, it's not a tip heavy rod either, so it balances real nice. I originally had it on a Loomis GLX 852S, which is a 7'1" for wacky rigging, but to use that in kind of like close quarters combat area with wacky rigs, there's too many trees. I've hit trees before with it, and luckily I didn't break, so the 6'8" actually comes in handy. And yeah, to me, I find this to be the perfect wacky rig setup. You got finesse with the rod, power with the reel. Like, you could clamp down. I mean, I'm not gonna catch over here any bass that's gonna break 8-pound braid or 8-pound fluorocarbon, even unless like I'm in some heavy garbage. But even then too, I'll switch to 10. And I think personally, like, I've caught 4.5-pound bass with this rod. With 7-pound leader, I've had no issues with it at all. So I think I'll be fine. You know, gotta be really lucky to hit something over 6 pounds over here. But if it was to happen, let it happen. I'll deal with it as it comes. So, as I stated before, I got this reel in like I think the end of August, beginning of September 2020. So it has been almost 4 years. But do I believe that it's worth even at that $645 price point? I really do. As I said before, this is the closest you're gonna get to owning a Stella without spending that ridiculous amount that Canadian retailers are now charging. When I bought my Stella, it was just a little bit over $1,000. Now you're looking at almost $1,200, which to me, as a high-end gear enthusiast, is absolutely bonkers. Like, it shouldn't even be that expensive. Like, reels and rods shouldn't have gone up this much. Loomis shouldn't have gone up this much. Shimano shouldn't have gone up this much. You know, even Daiwa shooting through the roof. I mean, I'm a Shimano guy, and I've used Daiwa before. I'm not a fan of Daiwa. I have my reasons. I prefer Shimano construction. I prefer Shimano gear train over Daiwa. So that's my personal preference. I mean, I'm not knocking it at all. They both make great reels. But I'm just a fan of Shimano. So with that, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed my little 4-year review of this reel. My little insight to it. I did do a 1-year review with the GLX. I'll link that as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.